Important research to try and unlock the mysteries of mental health disorders is going on at the Laureate Brain Research Institute in Tulsa. The institute has recently received a coveted grant to help expand its research to predict and treat mood disorders. Their work could be pivotal in helping find biological reasons for mental illness.
At Tulsa's Laureate Institute for Brain Research, or LIBR, scientists are making important strides in understanding brain disorders. Just recently, the institute was awarded an $11.3 million grant from the National Institutes of Health. It's the largest grant LIBR has ever received since the facility began clinical research in 2009. Dr. Martin Paulus is the scientific director at LIBR. He says the money will be used to expand research, which has already led to important findings.
Using some fancy statistics, we can assess whether your brain is older or younger than the brain of sort of your average comparison group.
He says brain age may indicate who may be of higher risk for dementia or Alzheimer's. Paulus says this new grant money will lay the groundwork to expand efforts to investigate mood and anxiety disorders. Heather Alden has suffered from anxiety and postpartum depression.
Even though you know that there's people around you that really care and love you and they want to help you, those feelings make you feel so distant because they can't understand it. And you don't really understand it because most of the time it just comes out of nowhere. You're alone, you're helpless, you don't want to do anything, you don't want to get out of bed. And it's hard for people because they just tell you, well, just get over it. And it's not that simple.
Alden is now part of LIBR's Tulsa 1000 study. Before it's completed, 1,000 Tulsa volunteers will take part in the 3-year research project.
I'm hoping that by contributing to this, they can find markers for depression, anxiety, anything like that, and help people before it starts to get as bad as what I have.
Currently, Dr. Paula says a psychiatric diagnosis is dependent on what a patient tells the doctor about how they're feeling. And treatment many times involves trial and error before discovering what works.
What we're trying to do is saying, can we develop objective markers for conditions like mood and anxiety that, similar to diabetes or similar to hypertension, we can then use to say, has the medication, has the behavioral treatment, has whatever you've done worked? Has it made the condition better objectively, not just subjectively, but objectively?
Dr. Paulus says study participants will complete the process in 1 year.
Do a very thorough interview. We get a psychiatric diagnosis if there is one. We do behavioral testing. We have people go into the MRI machine, and we get a structural brain scan, and we do functional brain scans where people do different tasks and different games.
One of the brain exercises the patient receives in the MRI involves a series of abstract pictures. They are similar but not quite the same. When a person is shown a certain picture, they hear a startling noise. By understanding how anxiety is created in a brain, it's hoped researchers can help people unlearn their anxiety triggers. Another research tool is the use of magnetic stimulators on the brain.
And we have some particular ideas of what brain areas we have to stimulate to help the brain unlearn faster.
Besides discovering best treatments to improve mood and anxiety disorders, it's hoped investigators can come up with a behavioral test or discover markers in the blood which can determine a person's disorder risk. Finding the link between body and brain could be life-altering for future generations of Oklahomans, where 1 in 4 people suffer from some form of mental illness.